They call themselves the itchy trigger finger niggas.
Itchy what?
The itchy trigger finger niggas.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Pricie here with something a little different from what you're used to seeing from even Battlefield footage. Got some World of Tanks for you today. This was a round that I played yesterday in the very strong Russian KV1 heavy tank. We are on Fisherman's Village, or Fisherman's Bay I believe it's called. And this tank is very slow. But I thought I would show you this video because it was one of the funniest games I've ever played. The end of the game turned out to be a 8-kill round for me with a Radley Walters medal, one of the more sought after medals in the game. A high caliber, a top gun of course because we got over 6 kills, and a steel wall I believe, and I think we also got a Reaper badge along the way as well. And it actually turned out to be not an ace tanker, not a first class mastery, but a 4-medal Radley Walters second class mastery game. So I must admit, after I saw the score screen at the end of the game, I laughed quite a lot. So here we are in the KV1 doing what all good heavy tanks should do on this map, and that's heading towards the sort of city, the town if you will, on the left hand, or my left hand side of the map as a move up. Heavy tanks should really go here for the reason that they've got the armour to be able to side scrape on the corners, use their armour fully and push for ground within the city. Now obviously if you're in a light tank or a medium tank, or heaven forbid a tank destroyer, a town really isn't the place you want to be because you haven't really got the hit point pool or the armour to be able to trade shots with your enemy. Whereas this is really what a heavy tank excels at. It can sort of park itself on a corner. If you angle your armour well, it can deflect a lot of shots or eat those incoming shots with its tracks, saving you from taking damage. And slowly use its sort of DPM over a period of time to whittle down the enemy tanks and then push forward, push for ground and get your team further up the map. So here we are, we've just got to the town. The action will be kicking off shortly. As I say, I'm kind of chatting a lot to buy time at the moment because this is a very slow tank. So getting into position is going to take a little while. The team wasn't too bad from what I remember. I think this was a... I think XVM said that the chance for us to win the game was quite high. I think it was about a 54 or 56% or so. We should really, in theory, win this game. Just pushed into the town now. As you can see, it looks like most of our team, including quite a few tank destroyers, heaven knows why, have followed us into this position. We've really got to make this push work because the other side of the map, as you can see, we've literally got an AMX-40 Ducky and an M4 with a bush camping Matilda for support, an AFK Marder 2, and a slightly angry Bishop player that's wondering why the Matilda's camping a bush. I don't really blame him. So we've really got to make the push on this side of the map work because this is really where all of our forces are. So first target pops into range and it's an enemy KV1. He's not side scraping, he's coming around the corner broadside with his side facing us, so I get a lovely first free shot into him and I back up very kindly, let the VK in front of me take the shot from the KV1. Now I've got my armour angled at the moment, so if he does fire at me, I'm increasing my effective armour and I'm presenting my tracks to him at an angle, so there's a good chance that if he does fire at me, then I can either bounce that shot or absorb that shot with my armour, or eat the shot with my tracks and stop any sort of HP damage actually onto my tank. So first target down. We didn't get the kill for that, the VK got the kill for that, and fair play to him, he was a good player. He deserved that kill, and to be honest he took the damage from the KV, so if anyone's going to get a kill there, he certainly deserved it. But we put in 2 good hits on him for a total of 310 damage, so we're off to a pretty good start. It's 1-0 for our team. Now I see this T-34 is side on round this corner, which is a silly way to go round the corner, but he hasn't been shot, so I've got a pretty good idea that there's nobody there trying to shoot him, so I can proceed to take the corner in a silly side on way like this. If I'd have been there by myself, I would have side-scraped that corner just to make sure if anyone was at the other end of the road shooting back at me, then I would have had the best possible chance of not taking any damage. And we've got one of the bigger tanks for the enemy team here, BDR G1B, a French, very strange looking tank, but he's a tier 5 tank. Armour's not very good on the BDR, but it does have, for its tier, one of the better guns. So we've got to be a little bit cautious with him because he can do us some damage. But we put a shot into the side of him, 161, which I believe is 1 damage over the average damage roll for this gun. And we take a shot there, not sure what that was, I think that was the T80 or possibly artillery, but it doesn't actually do any damage, so our armour weathered the storm there, prevented our tank from taking any damage. Now, I don't just want to blindly roll round this corner, because at the moment I can't see where the BDR's looking, so I waited for him to engage on some of the medium tanks and the tank destroyers that have gone round the other side. That's got his attention. I can safely come round the corner, put a shot into his rear armour. So that's a kill for us. We're on the board, first kill. 592 damage done, and one of the more problematic heavy tanks from the enemy team has now been dealt with. Now, our team is steamrolling through the map quite well now. It's 4-1. We're certainly leading on the kills here. This isn't an insurmountable amount. The enemy team could still quite easily turn this around. I've seen horrific games in the past where people have ended up losing from 4-1. In fact, I've seen games where people have ended up losing from sort of 10-1 up due to you tend to find in World of Tanks that the lower skilled players kind of get filtered out first. They maybe do silly things and rush in, get themselves blown up, and what you end up being left with is the core better players of the team, basically. And obviously a good player, never to be underestimated, can do a lot of damage if they're left to their own devices. So we're not getting too complacent just yet. It's 5-2, and I've spotted a scumbag, an AMX 105, and I would love to kill him because, let's face it, who doesn't like killing artillery? They generally sit at the back of the map, in a bush, moan at their team for not getting spots and losing, whilst they don't really actually contribute anything. So, well, there we go, it's a Sexton 2, another scumbag artillery piece. We take a shot at him, and it connects. That puts us on our second kill. One good thing about artillery is they have virtually no armour, and not much in the way of HP, so they are pretty much free kills if you can get at them, although they spend most of their time at the back of the map. So we know, here's another artillery piece. He's down to 6 health again. That's the AMX. We fire blind at him, and like a very talented artillery player that he is, even though he was spotted, hasn't moved from the location he was in. So great news for us. That was a very cheeky little kill there for about 6 damage, I think, but now we're on 3 kills. 732 damage done. We keep on rolling, as a good heavy tank should. So we are just keep on pushing. We stop only to fire our gun, and even then sometimes we don't even stop at all, and we are constantly just pushing up towards the enemy base. So spot an enemy T46 in the middle of the field, great place to stop for him. Fire slightly clutch on that, i.e. not fully aimed, and that Russian accuracy rears its head and the shot goes somewhere. So we get a second chance. That shot connects. 144 damage done on him, and that's our 4th kill for the game. Next target up, it's an M3 Lee. Now I really feel sorry for this guy because I've grinded up the American heavy tank line, and this is an awful tank. It is a horrible, horrible tank, and sitting in the middle of a field with it is not where you want to be. It's supposedly a medium tank, but it acts more like a tank destroyer. Its gun sort of pokes out of one side, so in certain situations it can be quite good. You can use sort of cover, rocks, buildings within towns to present your tank to the enemy in such a way that they can only really see the gun on one side of your tank poking around. But other than that, it's a horrible, horrible tank, and it was a horrible grind when I had to do it, so I totally feel for him. I wouldn't want to be him again, and I'm so glad that I got past that tank, got it out of my garage, sold it, and moved on to pastures greener further up the line. Next target, Marder 38 ton. Now he is quite a tricky customer. Very good, powerful gun, but fortunately he's not looking at us. So we know where he is. Even though he's been despotted now, we assume that he's still in the same spot. So we fire clutch and we connect. So that puts us on our 5th kill for the game. And we keep on trucking, keep on rolling towards that enemy flag. It's now 12-4 and this game is well in hand now. It's just a matter of the clean-up and whether or not I can pick up a Top Gun medal. Very kindly, the bishop on our team says to give me the Top Gun, of which I kindly say thank you, because if you're on 5 kills, it's just a real polite thing to do. Or if anyone on your team is on 5 kills, it's a nice polite thing to do to let them have another kill so they can get that Top Gun medal, especially if there's no chance for you to actually pick up the medal yourself, or no chance for anybody else on your team to pick up the medal. Then you might as well give it to them, you know, and hopefully that luck will, or that favouritism, that favour will come back around to you someday, and you'll be in the same position like this, where hopefully somebody will stand up for you on your team, complete random, I don't know the bishop, and will say, you know, he's on 5 kills, give him another kill because he's going to be on for a Top Gun. So anyway, we pick up our 6th kill on a Covenanter, which was a very, very thin shot, so thank God the Russian accuracy didn't rear its head there, and we actually got a real good shot on him, picked up our 6th kill. Take another shot at the T40, and that puts us on 7 kills, and now I'm taking out a lot of fire. As it turns out, I think the last tank is a Marder again, and he was one of the better players on the enemy team. And I am in a horrible, horrible place right now in a slow, heavy tank. I'm doing my best to try and angle my armour to increase my effective armour and present my tracks to him to eat as many shots as I can in the tracks, but this is not where you want to be in a heavy tank with an unspotted tank destroyer raining free fire down on you, and you really don't have, I mean, I've got an idea of where he is by where the fire is coming in from, but not enough for me to want to stop and shoot. My best bet at the moment is to keep on rolling, keep on trucking, try and sponge as much of that damage as I can with my armour and my tracks, and hope that he gets lit up before he can kill me. It's getting very close. I'm on 25 HP now, but the Marder's been lit up. We fire clutch and the shot connects for our 8th kill, and that's the game over. 15-6, pick up 8 kills. It says 1443 damage here, but in fact that actually turns out to be a little bit more. And we'll go to the endgame stats now, and I'll show you the stats after that. So here we are at the end score screen after that round on Fisherman's Bay. As you can see, there's the Ever Comedy Second Class Mastery badge for the KV1. And we've got the Radley Walters medal there for achieving 8 kills. High Caliber, Top Gun and Steel Wall. That game we did finish top on experience, 4 medals. As I said, the damage done in game, there was a few blind shots that were fired, so it ended up being slightly higher than the 1400 and whatever it was damage that was in game, and we actually did 1642 damage. Quite a nice round for damage there for us. And if we look at the detailed report, that was 15 shots fired, of which 13 hit the target, 13 penetrations for a total of 1642 damage. Hits received, we took 11 hits, 7 of which penetrated. Now the game records penetrating hits also as hits that are eaten or absorbed by your tracks, and non-penetrating hits was 4. So the actual damage blocked by armour we had there was only 385, but obviously we sponged quite a few shots into our tracks there to prevent damage from our tank, even though they count as penetrating hits. Didn't fire any premium ammunition that round. We received, with premium, 31,111 credits. It cost us 3,463 credits to resupply the vehicle, and 1,635 credits in ammunition. As I said there, no gold rounds were fired. That gave us a total of, after profits and losses and deductions, of 26,013 credits. So not a bad money maker. That is obviously with premium, but without premium that still would have made you a pretty healthy profit at tier 5 of 15,643. Now base experience for that game, Didn't find the team score page again. Base experience for that game was 813, which is why it only amounted to a second class mastery badge. If we'd have done a little bit more damage during that game to enemy vehicles, or a little bit more assistance damage due to spotting, then that would have gone up a little bit higher, and we probably would have got higher up on the mastery scale, perhaps a first or even an ace tanker. However, with premium, that gave us 1,219 experience. So I hope you enjoyed this replay. I hope it's made you laugh as much as it made me laugh when I saw the endgame screen. To be honest, as you can see, we rarely stopped moving during that game. We were pushing onwards and upwards towards the enemy base throughout most of the game. I think it would have been tricky to squeeze more XP out of that game, mainly because of the fact that the team that we had were very, very competent. As you can see, it was a bit of a steamroll on that left-hand flank through the town. And somewhat what people would call a bit of a communist game, would you pardon the pun, for the fact that I was driving a Russian tank, but the damage was shared out quite well amongst the good players of the team. So to squeeze any more damage or experience out of that game would have been a little bit tough. A little bit disappointing not to come away with a higher mastery class badge than that, but always happy to come away with another Radley Walters medal. That's great. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that round in the KV1. Now I do realise the video might be a little bit slow-mo during the actual replay. I will address that for any further videos I do for World of Tanks, although this is the first video that I have uploaded of World of Tanks. And I think next time what I need to do, while I'm watching the replay and frapsing as well, I'll need to be turning down the in-game graphics just a little bit to help fraps basically, or help my computer, should I say, run the two programs at the same time. So I will address that for any future videos. If you've got any questions on the video or any questions about World of Tanks, feel free to drop me a message. Of course, if you like the video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up, or indeed hit that subscriber button if you're a new person to the channel. That helps me out greatly. And yeah, it's Pricie signing out, and I'll see you on the next one.